Welcome to the 5 for 2 podcast with me, your host Adelle, where we say no to careers where you're trading 5 days of misery for 2 days of fun. A place we discuss all things career, confidence, and money moves. I want to motivate, teach, and empower ambitious women to achieve more, earn more, feel more confident, and enjoy the work they do. It's all about believing you can have everything you want in your career and then going and getting it. So if you're ready, let's get into it.
Hey guys, how are you? How are we in April already? I don't even understand. We've already made it to April. It was just December. I feel like we just had Christmas and now we're already in April. But anyway, welcome to April. If you're in the UK, spring has not sprung yet. I am still waiting for this good weather, but April showers and all that. So I'm dealing with it. But today I have come on because I want to talk to you guys about something I did very recently, which was make another career change. And the reason I want to talk about it and the reason it feels so significant to me is I've been helping people with their careers within my business as a coach for the last 3.5 years. Previous to that, I was helping people with interviews and CVs, and I've always helped people with their career. But I haven't personally made an industry change, had an interview, done anything for myself in the last 11 years. I've been in the same company for 11 years, not doing the same job, but the same company. I've worked my way up, I've moved roles, I've shifted roles, I've tried other things, but it's been 11 years since I held an interview. And this process taught me so much. One of the things it taught me was nothing's changed. There is no magic formula to interviews other than the confidence in the skills you already have. The belief that you can do the job that you're interested in and your ability to articulate that to whoever you're speaking to. And what's so interesting about all of this and what makes me feel so good about this is not only every time my clients get a win, every time one of my clients gets a pay rise, or you hear me talk about one of my clients changing industry without getting a qualification, or someone who's moved into management without having any experience and they've doubled their salary. Those wins are amazing. Whenever you hear me talk about that, I'm so proud of my clients. That's the whole reason I created Create Your Own Lane, because I want people to be able to start businesses, change careers, do jobs that they've always wanted to do and make the money that they've always wanted. But when you're able to also prove that your formula, the things that you believe work for you, it's another level, guys. It feels so different to prove myself right by doing it for myself. But what I wanted to talk to you guys today about was I want to share how I even got here, why I've even started a new role, just all of it. I know if you've been listening to the podcast for a while, and if you don't usually listen, go back to my January episodes and you'll find out why I found myself without a job. But in short, I basically got made redundant last year. And when it happened, I decided that I wasn't going to immediately look for work. I've worked consistently since I was 17. The only time I didn't have a job was 6 months after having my daughter. I took 6 months off for maternity leave and then I went back to work. So I've always worked. I've literally worked since the age of 17 nonstop. It's actually 16 because I had a little part-time job at 16. I have always worked 5 days a week all the time. And then that changed to 4 days and then 3 days. But even when I was working 3 days a week, I still had my first aid business. So I've just always worked. This time I was like, firstly, I'm not going to rush into a job search. Secondly, shout out to the old Adelle, because doing the work that I had done previously, working on my money mindset, making sure I saved, putting money away, starting off really small, but slowly growing my savings, meant that I was in a position that I could take it a little bit slower. I have savings, my bills are paid. So I was like, I have money. I've negotiated these big salaries for that reason, so that I can save more money and have money in the bank. So old Adelle, thank you so much, because if you hadn't put in the work when you had, I wouldn't have the savings now to be able to chill. So I decided that I wasn't going to start looking for work until February. And let me be really clear with you, I'm a natural worrier, so that made me nervous. I am built to work and pay the bills and do what you need to do. You guys know I grew up in a Caribbean household. My mum is from the Caribbean. I grew up with parents who very much were like, you go to school, you get good grades, you go and get an amazing job, you work your way up, you become the manager, and that's it. You don't want nothing else. I didn't grow up in a household where we spoke about entrepreneurship or anything like that. Get a good job, make some money. We struggled when I was young. So money was a source of worry and concern. So I always wanted to make sure I have enough money so that I'm not worried. And the crazy thing is, even when I have savings, I'm still worried because at the end of the day, the savings will run out. It's as simple as that. My brain is very logical. If I don't find a job, my savings will run out and then we have nothing to fall back on. And I've got a child and I need to make sure we're good at all times. So that's where my brain went. But that's why you have to do the mindset work. I needed to work on my mindset and remind myself I'm safe. In this moment, at that time, I was safe. I have enough in the bank that I am safe for a couple of months to not work and to just chill. And the crazy thing is when I lent into it, when I really decided, right, I am not job searching, I am chilling. You guys already know. Well, a lot of you know if you follow me on Instagram, the first 3 months of the year have been a whirlwind. I've been to 3 countries in 3 months, which what? I don't even travel that much when I was working or when I had money. In my eyes, when I'm working, I have more money because I've got money always coming in. I was in France for a weekend where you guys know I got engaged. So that was amazing. I then was in Dubai for a week for one of my best friend's birthday. We did the whole, she turned 40. It was amazing. We were there for a week. It was great. And then I was in America for like 2 weeks. So yeah, January, February, March has been a blur, but it's been so much fun. And it meant that I was able to really stick to my plan and say, I'm not looking for a job till February. So I know you guys want to know what happened. How did I get the job? What's the job that I'm doing? How did I change industry? So let's talk about it. Let's really get into how I changed industry again, what I'm doing, how the job search went. Let's talk about it all. So first things first, I decided in that time where I was sitting back and I decided I was going to not just get up and do. I was going to really think about what do you even want? I wrote myself a list. I've got a list of things that I'm able to do. But I was like, I want to do something similar, but different. And when I say that to you guys, I didn't know what I wanted to do. It's as simple as that. I wasn't clear. I just knew that I'm good at problem solving. I enjoy recruitment. I enjoy careers. I enjoy helping people get jobs. I enjoy talking. Otherwise, I wouldn't have this podcast. I'm still an introvert. I am. So I don't want anything that's too people facing and I'm an introvert. But I do enjoy talking to clients, talking to different people. So I just wrote a list of what I enjoy doing. There's an exercise I get my clients to do. A lot of my clients, I ask them to write their job description. I ask them to write their ideal job description. So when people work with me, I'm like, write your ideal job description. What are you looking for? What tasks would you enjoy doing every day? And the reason we do that is so that you can get really clear, because sometimes you don't even realize what is your favorite part of the day? What do you enjoy doing the most at your job? You might not like your job, but there might be parts of your job that you do like and that would actually work for you in another industry. So that's where I started off. Then I was like, I only want to work part-time. I don't want to go back full. I don't want to be 5 days because in my last job, you guys know, I negotiated full-time money on part-time hours. So I was like, I want to work part-time, but I don't want to lose no. I want to make good money still. I still want to make good money. I still want to make a good salary. So I wanted to work 3 days a week, ideally remote. I like working remote, but I miss the office. So I did want hybrid. So I wanted to be able to have an office that I can go to, an office that I can use. I enjoy working in the office. I enjoy meeting people, seeing people. I get bored sometimes at home. I know some of you are like, no, I love being at home. I don't want to see anyone. I'm an introvert, but I still do like to sometimes see people. The thing is, I like to choose when I see people. My energy gets drained when I'm forced to see people. I like to pick and choose. So going into the office sometimes is great, but I want to have a job where most of the time I'm remote. Other than that, that was it really. That's where I started. So I started looking. I refuse to apply for hundreds of jobs. Sometimes my clients, they know. I will tell my clients, apply for 5 jobs a week, but only apply to jobs that you actually think you could work in. Don't just apply just to apply. If there's not 5 jobs to apply for, then don't apply to 5, but aim for 5 a week. So I personally came across 3 jobs I really like the look of, saved 2 of them. And there was one specific one that I was like, this company, the job description, everything sounded amazing. And I've heard of the company before. So I was like, yeah, I'm interested. I want this job. There was when I looked on LinkedIn, it said there were 50 other applicants at the time when I was applying. And no, it didn't stop me applying because it's not my business. I don't care however many people have applied. What if all the other people are just like me? They might not have the right experience. I've never done that job before. I haven't worked in that industry, just so you guys know. It's luxury retail. So I've never worked in luxury retail, and I've never worked in... So it is still staffing, but it's not recruitment. Like, I don't recruit staff or anything like that. It's like client service management. It's dealing with a lot of logistics. It's dealing with procurement, but it's not direct recruitment. So I was reading the job description. I said, oh, this sounds interesting. It works with my skill set. I'll be having to problem solve. I'll have to be speaking to clients all the time. I'll be speaking to people that work within the business. Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of interactions. It said that it was remote. So I was like, perfect. I can work from home. But it was only 2 days a week. And I want 3. And I need 3 to be able to, pay my bills, do everything I need to do. As well as obviously still have time, because my job is coaching. My job is my podcast. Like, all of this stuff is what I enjoy doing. So I still want to be able to coach clients and do everything that I'm already doing. But the job just really spoke to me. And I was like, you know what? This is my job. This might be my job. Like, I could work these 2 days, then maybe I could get another job. And this is where the mindset work starts, guys. I'm not just telling you this story to tell you this story. I'm telling you this so you can see where the mindset work started. I automatically started thinking about how this job fits into my life. I didn't default to like, oh my gosh, what if I don't get it? No, I was already like, okay, so if I had if I could get 2 days a week or even 3 days, and I'm working from home, then I can still do my coaching on these days. I was already thinking of like, how can I make it work? And then I was like, well, 2 days isn't really as much as I wanted, but I could always do a random day somewhere else. I could work for an agency 1 day a week. I could do admin work, whatever. I can figure out an extra day. So I was like, should I apply? Yeah, let's go for it. But my mindset was, I want this job. It's my job. And guys, I'm not saying that every time you think that something's your job, it's going to be your job, because sometimes it's just not for you. But just know that whatever's for you can't pass you. And if it passes you, it wasn't yours and your opportunity is coming. But if you don't have the mindset already of like, this is mine, do you know how hard it is to show up from a confident place? And it's not about being cocky. I'm not showing up from a cocky place. I don't have experience in this job, so I'm not being cocky. But I definitely looked at a job description and was like, how will my skills work with this? I was like, how will me being chatty, being a people person, being able to talk to all different types of people at all different levels, how is that going to help me in this role? How is the fact that I can solve all types of problems? Like, I don't even know how, but my friends come to me, family comes to me, I can just solve problems. How's that going to help me in this role? I was really thinking about how I could see myself in the job. And the more I read it, I was like, yeah, I really think I could do this job and I think I could do it well. So why not? Sent my application off. And in the meantime, I still had those other 2 jobs that I really like the look of, but I don't know why I didn't apply to them. And I would never suggest this to anyone. I never even tell my clients this. I would have said to them, apply to all 3. Why would you put all your eggs in one basket? And that's the truth. Why would you put all your eggs in one basket? But at the same time, I didn't apply to the other jobs, but I was still looking for other roles and I was saving jobs, because I was like, there are still going to be other jobs that, like, I can still apply for these jobs. A lot of the jobs were brand new. They had closing dates. So I knew that I had time to apply for them. During that time, networking. I need you guys to remember that networking is key. So I was talking to different people. I was out there. I was telling people I'm looking for work. I was talking to my beautician. I was talking to all types of people. And guess what? The lady who does my eyelashes knew someone who was looking for someone to help them with invoices. And you might be like, Adelle, you're not an accountant. No, I'm not. But guess what? As an operations director, I used to have to run payroll. I used to have to do payroll. I used to have to send invoices to clients. I used to have to chase invoices. So I've done debt collection. Yes, it might have only been a small part of my job, but I've done it. So I was like, yep, I could do that. She was like, oh, okay. Got me in touch with that person. Person spoke to me, had a little mini interview, bish, bash, bosh. Started getting paid to do that. Started doing some invoicing, little bit of extra work. Networking, guys. The interview wasn't even real. It wasn't a real interview. They were basically like, yep, this person said that you've done this before. Can you do a few invoices for me? If it goes well, then I'll get you to do more in the future. That's literally how my interview went. Like, it was like 3 minutes. And that's what I did. Did a couple invoices for them. They were happy. I sent the invoices off. They were happy. Their clients were happy. They said to me, okay, if I need help, are you happy to do freelance work for me as and when needed? 100% I'm happy. Let's go. So this is why I'm always saying to you guys, talk to people. You don't have to talk to 100 people. Listen, I know when you hear me on this podcast, you're like, Adelle is not an introvert, but I am. I'm very introverted. I like my own time. I like my own space. I like to be by myself. But when I am out and about with people, I like to have a good chat, good chin wag, as we say in the UK. I like to have a good chat, talk to people. Let people know what I want them to know. I control the narrative. You don't have to tell people all your business, but you can tell them the things you want to. I will talk about the fact that I got made redundant and I'm looking for work, because guess what? You might say it to someone and they might then speak to someone else they know, and that person's like, oh, I'm looking for staff. And they might be like, oh, I was just talking to this girl the other day and she's looking for work. Network online, network on LinkedIn. I'm going to need you guys to go back to the networking episode that I did with Trisha Sitamire and listen to what she talks about when she talks about networking and how to do it. Because you can reach out to people that you've never met before on LinkedIn and literally just start a networking conversation. She even shared her networking template, which you can find over on her website. But you can just reach out to someone and say, hi, I'm really interested in getting into your industry, or I'm really interested in your company. I love the things you post. I love everything you're about. If you had 5 minutes, it would be great if we could jump on a call and have a little chat. If you don't have time, I totally understand. Or you can say to them, like, I saw that your company is currently hiring. Is there anything that I should know? What sort of skills or what sort of qualities does your company look for? Like, reach out to recruiters, reach out to hiring managers. You can do this all online. I get that sometimes face-to-face it can be really awkward, but if you send a message and the person doesn't respond, oh well, at least you shot your shot. At least you tried. You got a 50-50 chance of someone responding or not responding. And guess what? On LinkedIn, 90% of the time people respond. So connect with people and ask questions. You could just do an informational, like, say, can we have a little chat? I just wanted to know a bit more about your industry, what type of qualities people need to get in there. Ask questions. And then use that information to get in there. The person, if they like you, they might remember you. They might recommend you for a role. You really don't know who's connected to who. So constantly be networking and also give back. If you meet someone nice and you can help them, help them. If you can point them in the right direction for something they need, that's what networking's about. So network. So my first real job, or my first little freelance role, was the networking job. So I just wanted to share that part. Anyway, did my application for the other job. They got back to me. Now, during the application, there was no salary on the job description. However, when you applied for the job, it asked you what you wanted for salary. And I want to talk about this because I know a lot of you will be scared to put a high salary because you'll be like, well, what if I put too high a salary and because of that, they don't shortlist me? Listen, if your application's good, your CV's good, and you put too high a salary, what usually happens, I've been a recruiter 15 years, take it from me. They will call you and say, we're interested, or drop you an email and say, we were interested in your application, but your salary expectations were too high. So at this time, we won't want to take it forward. You then email back and say, let me know what your salary is because I really was interested in this role and I may be able to consider it depending on how much it is. Let them come back to you. And also, why is your expectation too much? Why do you think what you want is too much? Usually it's because you haven't done the work behind that number. You should get behind your number. I knew exactly what I wanted. I knew what I wanted and more, either that amount or more. It wasn't going to be anything less. I refuse. I knew how much I wanted or more, but not less. And to be honest with you, I put the amount that I wanted in the application. So they knew from the jump what I was looking for. So when they then booked me for interview, I already know that I can't have asked for too much because then why would you interview me? Because you already know what I want. To be honest with you, there wasn't much pushback, so I probably could have got more. So I should have negotiated more, guys. Let's be honest. I should have done more, but I knew what I wanted and I asked because I'm behind my number. If you're too scared to ask for the amount you want, you need to start asking yourself why. One of the first things I work with my clients with in my coaching program is confidence, is believing in your qualities, even if you've only got one skill that you think you're great at, knowing that skill is the skill that's going to get you the job, knowing how to talk about that skill, connect that skill to the job, knowing how to sell it in a way that's so marketable that people are like, oh yeah, we could do with someone like you on my team. Getting behind it instead of worrying about what you don't have, and then being confident in the number that you decide you want. If you say you want to earn 60K, because you're currently on, 30 or 40 and you want 60K, decide that's your number. I've had clients go from 50K to 75 in one jump, not because they suddenly got more experience or a qualification, because they believe that that's what they deserve. You have to get behind your number and decide that's the number. And also decide that if you can't get that, then you need to ask someone else somewhere else. Now, don't get me wrong. If a job's like a few thousand out, like you want 70 and they're offering 68 or 67, but you can negotiate extra annual leave or something else, then maybe you'll consider taking the job. But have a number and stick to the number and be willing to walk away. Listen to my previous episode to this, where I spoke to the lovely Portia Obeng. We got into it. I felt like I was talking to one of my old friends. We spoke about why, if someone withdraws an offer or if you can't get the money you want, you need to go somewhere else. There are too many jobs and too many opportunities for you to really be in this small bubble, in this small world, believing that you can't get the money you deserve. probably half of you listening to this right now, you're overqualified, overexperienced, and underpaid. You're probably doing a job that you could get 10, 15, 20K more for, but you're in this bubble where you believe this is the most you can make for the job you're doing. I've worked with executive assistants and PAs that are on like 80,000, and then worked with marketing managers that are only on 40. The only difference was the confidence, because when the PA came to me, they were on like 30, 40,000, and they were like, I feel like I can earn more. The next thing you know, they're PA for like Google or a really big company, whatever big companies are out there, and they're earning more. And no, I didn't help someone with a job in Google. It just was something that popped into my head. So no, I'm not telling you Google salaries because I don't know their salaries. But what I'm saying is, when they applied to a higher paying job, they changed their CV, they changed the way they interview because now they're confident, and they landed the bigger salary. So it's just understanding that there is someone that will pay you that much money, but maybe you're just not asking the right people. Maybe you're not putting yourself in the right places. Maybe your applications aren't up to that level. Like you want to go for the higher paying jobs, but your applications are not there yet. So maybe it's just looking at that process. Maybe it's your mindset. Do you believe that you deserve that money? Are you worthy of that money? Or are you worried like no one in your family earns that much, so you don't even see how you could ever? No one around you earns that much. People are telling you you're doing too much. You think that you don't have a qualification, like you don't have a degree. That was always one for me. Not having a degree made me think like I can't earn that much. Guess what? I started to out-earn people that I know and people who have the degree that I wanted to get, because I started believing in me, and I stopped worrying about what I don't have, and I started selling what I do have. So this job, they interviewed me, first interview. During the first interview, remember, I am someone who has not had an interview for 11 years, guys. During the first interview, before we got off the call, they were like, we want to see you for second, 100%. Like, I'm definitely booking you in. And I was like, what? But they were like, but it might not be for a couple of weeks because of annual leave and other things going on. So I was like, fine. I then didn't hear from them for like 2.5 weeks, and I was sweating. Like, guys, you have to understand, I'm still human. I still have a human brain that worries. And I was like, oh my gosh, what if I don't get the job? Also, I forgot to mention, the day that I had the interview, I bought myself flowers, and I said, these flowers are to congratulate you on getting the job. Remember, I haven't even had the first interview yet, but this is mindset. Your subconscious mind doesn't know what's real and what's not real. So I told it that this is my job. I'm getting the job. This is congratulations. So I bought myself flowers. It's also a visual way of reminding myself, like, I'm good. I should get this job. Anyway, so they didn't call me back. I was like, what if they've changed their minds? I was spiraling. But at the same time, I was saying to myself, Adele, this is your job. You need this job because it's part-time. You're going to be able to work from home. This is your job. So it was almost like an argument with myself. But I kept quickly shifting back to, Adele, you're going to be fine. And then I was living my life. That's a really important one. If you can distract yourself and just go and live your life, it will quiet the voice in your head. It will help you with your mindset. The fact that I got engaged and then I went to Dubai for a week. Do you think I'm sitting in Dubai worrying about this fact that these people haven't called me back? That's your business. I'm in Dubai right now. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Listen, sometimes I'll have to say to myself, let that be Adele's problem. Like, the Adele of tomorrow, that's her problem. The Adele of right now, it's not my problem. I'm enjoying my life. Anyway, I got back from Dubai, finally got an invite for the second interview, had the second interview. I actually had the second interview while I was in America. So they booked it, but I'd already landed in America. Sorry, guys, that was my phone. I forgot to put it on silent, about to do that right now. So if you heard a ping, that's what it was. Yeah, so I was already in America, but I took my laptop because I was like, see, that's mindset. This is what I'm telling you guys. Take action from a place of belief. When you hear people say, do the mindset work and then you have to take action, it's not taking the same old actions that you took before. It's new, better actions. Why did I take my laptop with me to America? I'm going on holiday, but I took it because I was like, they're going to call me for an interview and then I'm not going to be able to do the interview because I'm not going to have my computer and I'm not going to be able to do a Zoom and I don't want to do Zoom on my phone. Carried my laptop. Guess what? The day I landed in America, I had a missed call. It was them. I dropped them an email and said, hi, I had a missed call. They said, yeah, we'd like to see you for an interview this week. I had my laptop with me. I said, yep, that's all good because it was a Zoom interview. So all my interviews were Zoom interviews as well. Is this a new thing? Again, I haven't interviewed for 11 years. Some of my clients, they go face to face. They do like one video call and then like another one's face to face. But all mine were actually video calls. Anyway, I went off on a little tangent there. So I did my second interview, video call. It seemed to go well. 3 people interviewed me. Can I just say that in my second interview, I answered a question wrong. Hugely wrong. Like, I was answering it. I was all confident in my answer. And then halfway through the answer, one of the ladies was like, because I was being interviewed by 3 people. She was like, oh, no, that's not what I meant. And I was like, what? me, the worrier, like, oh my gosh, I've just messed up. That's all my brain was like, I've just messed up. And then she was like, actually, I meant this. I laughed it off and I said, oh, okay, sorry. And I re-answered and I answered it properly. But at this point, of course I'm nervous. Of course I'm worried. Again, I am human. I am never telling you, my clients, anyone not to be human. We are human. We get nervous. We get worried. But what I am saying is, how do you bounce back? Have you done the mindset work? Have you built your confidence so you can bounce back from the situation? Even like me, when you literally F up the whole answer. And if you saw how confident I was with this answer, the wrong answer, anyway, I answered it. When I got off that call, I was like, oh my gosh, I answered one of the questions wrong. I was saying to my boyfriend, like, I should say fiance, but that feels weird at the moment. But I was like to him, oh my gosh, I answered a question wrong. He was laughing. He was like, listen, you got this job. Why are you worrying? And also have people in your corner that can remind you of who you are. And he was like, you were on the interview for quite a while. So how did you think it went? And to be honest, I was like, even though I answered that question wrong, there was also points of the interview where they asked me questions and I answered, and then they would say to me, oh, is there anything else? And when someone says to you, is there anything else? You suddenly start to panic. Like, did I miss something? Should I say something else? Nah, I'm not panicking. Shall I tell you why I refuse to panic? Because I am who I am. I'm showing up as I am. I'm good at what I do. I'm going to tell you why I'm good at what I do. And if that's not enough, oh well. So when they were like, is there anything else? A couple times there was. I was like, oh yeah, actually, and this. But 90% of the time when they asked me anything else, I was like, nope, that's it. I feel like that's it. That's enough. And I'm confident. I think the fact that I'm confident makes other people feel like, oh, okay, she don't need to tell me nothing else because she's this confident. Clearly, if someone's saying to you, is there anything else? There probably was. But oh, well, no, I've given you my answer. I think I've given a really strong answer. So why would I try and waffle on, make up something? I've given you my interview answer. Guys, the confidence behind the interview, the confidence behind your applications is everything. You show up from a different place. You show up differently when you think you're great and you're not waiting for someone else to tell you you're great. And growing up, we want validation from our parents, from our friends, from the people we love. But when you start to self-validate, one thing with me, I think I'm good at my job. I know I work hard. There are so many things I don't know. And I'm going to talk about that really briefly. The fact that I started this job and I know nothing. I feel like a baby, like just a tiny baby growing. Like everything they say sounds alien to me. But guess what? A month from now, 2 months from now, I'm going to know what I'm doing because I'm willing to put the work in because I really like the look of this job. I only just started, just so you know, I started on Monday. I did 3 days this week. So I'm recording this the week I started. So you guys will hear it like in 2 weeks' time, but I'm recording this right at the beginning of April. And I've just started the new job and it's great. But yeah, it's alien to me. I've never done this job before. I've never done this role, but I'm still in management and management was important to me. I still wanted to be in management, but I didn't want to be in senior management because I want to be able to, I didn't want that much responsibility, really. That's the truth. I didn't want that much responsibility, but this is still quite a lot of responsibility. Again, like I said to you, I'm a client services manager. I'm in sort of procurement / managing like business services, staffing solutions, but I'm not a recruitment. Like I don't do recruitment. I'm not in human resources. It's not that, like, it's so hard to explain because I don't really know what I do. So I'm going to have to do another episode when I explain more, once I know more of what I do. But yeah, it's for a luxury brand. I'm not going to say their name on here, but yes, just keep watching my Instagram stories and I'm sure you'll see like some purchases. But it's really cool and it's really interesting and just, it's going to be fun to learn. But I just want to make it clear, I still don't have a degree and I don't have experience in this job and I still got the job. And I answered questions wrong in the interview. How? Nothing's changed. In 11 years, nothing's changed. Showing up from a place of confidence. Beforehand, looking at the job and deciding what one of my skills will make me good at this job. Why would I be good at this job? So when they asked me and they said to me, but you don't have experience in this industry, you've never worked in like retail's really fast paced, apparently. You've also never done like luxury retail's very different. It's not the same. It's very high level. Like you've not done it before. What makes you think you'll be great at it? I just started talking about the fact that I'm a people person. I can speak to people at any level. As a recruiter, I have to speak to candidates, clients. I speak to like the vice president of a company. And then I'll also speak to like the assistant. I speak to everyone and I'm comfortable. I can speak to everyone at different levels. People can relate to me at different levels. I can deal with like hard clients, like clients that are like rude or scream at me without losing my temper. Like, these are all the qualities that I'll be great with your clients. I'm a really fast learner. I said to them, I'm really quick. Now, everyone says that. Everyone always says they're really quick. My new boss actually said to me this week on my first week, oh my gosh, you've gotten through all these trainings quicker than most people. Because when I say I'm quick, I can back it up. If I tell you something at interview, I'm not going to sell anything that I can't back up. And also, if I sell it and I'm even not sure if I can back it up, I'm going to make sure I back it up because I'm a woman of my word. Even if you're not sure that you can back something up, at the very least, are you a woman of your word? At the very least, are you someone who's hardworking? At the very least, will you put in the work to try and be the person that you said you were at interview? If the answer is yes to any of those, start backing yourself. Start believing in yourself. Start saying, okay, I can do this. I can show up and I can do this. It doesn't matter how many people have applied for the job. It doesn't matter how much I've asked for in salary. None of these things matter. It doesn't matter if I have the experience. It doesn't matter if I don't have a degree. It doesn't matter. What matters is, do I think I can do this job? What makes me think I can do this job? And am I able to communicate and articulate that in my CV, in my application, and in an interview? Because that's all you need. Once you can do that, you're going to get the job offer. Anyway, I did the third interview, like 3 interviews. It took 6 weeks. My first interview was like the 9th of February, and I didn't get my offer till a few weeks ago in March. It was 6 weeks total that from start to end, which is longer than I've gone through a process. Usually I'm used to like within 2 weeks getting an offer. But again, things change. It has been 11 years. And yeah, I started this week. I'm really excited. Again, I don't understand anything that's going on. Half the stuff is gibberish to me, but it's fun. And that's what I wanted. I didn't want to do exactly what I've done before. I wanted to stay in that arena, but I wanted to do a different area. I've done healthcare, I've done marketing, I've done childcare, I've done education, I've done nannies, but I've not ever done luxury retail. I've also, like I said, I've done human resources, I've done recruitment. This is not that. I am not dealing with candidates directly. I'm not recruiting people. I'm not doing references. I'm not doing all those type of things anymore. I'm literally dealing with the client side of the business. So I'm working for the internal staff. So I deal with the management, the vice presidents, like all the senior people. I deal with them and I deal with finding out what their needs are, what issues they have when it comes to staffing. And I'm dealing with that side of it. So it's fun. It's interesting. I'm managing a small team. So there's a team that works just under me sort of thing, but the structure's different in this company. It's not a traditional like corporate structure. So yeah, all of it is fun. All of it is interesting. I'm excited. I'm scared as hell. So let's not pretend that I'm not scared. I'm scared because it's like, this is all brand new, but be willing to be a beginner because that's literally what I am. I'm a beginner again. I'm like a baby fish in a pond trying to grow. I am the least experienced. I don't know anything, but I'm willing to be that. A lot of the time, the reason we're scared to even make a change is not to do with the fact that we think we've got a bad CV or that we're not confident. It's actually that we don't want to be a beginner. We like that we know everything in our office. We like that people come to us. We don't want to feel like the dumb one. That's what it comes down to. We don't want to feel like the silly one. We're older. We want to feel proud. We want to be like, yeah, I've been working for years and years and years. Like, I know what I'm doing. We want to be the big fish. But I'm a little fish in a big pond right now. And that's okay. Because when I first ever got into the world of work and I started, I was a little fish. I'm a little fish again. But the difference now is I still come with a wealth of knowledge. I come with a wealth of experience that I can bring with me. I come with ideas because once I get to grips with what I'm doing, I'll have my own ideas for improvements and things like that. So I really wanted to just talk about that, talk about the fact that the actions you take today will affect the results you get tomorrow. The only reason I was able to take 2 months off and not look for a job was because previously I've grinded, I've worked, I've saved, I've done what I needed to do. If you negotiate a big pay rise, I just want to remind you, and I posted this on my stories recently, if you negotiate a big pay rise, remember you're currently living on whatever salary it is you are now. If you get a 20 or 30k pay rise, you can start saving. Save some of that money. Don't automatically go to like, oh, I'm going to spend every penny I've got. No, save some of that. You don't need to live luxury high life immediately. I'm not saying don't go on trips. I'm not saying don't enjoy your money. What I'm saying though is start saving. So if you're ever in a situation, you don't have to spin out and be stressed and worried. Or you can be like me and still spin out and be stressed and worried, but know that you've got something behind you. I also want to say, like, take the time if you can. Like, why do you need to quit your job immediately? I was in a situation where I'd been laid off, I've been made redundant. But if you're currently in a job that you do not like, you don't need to quit your job immediately. Start creating your exit plan. Start making moves. Start applying to jobs. Start networking at the very least. Because then you don't have to leave your job straight away. You don't have to put yourself in a position where you're so worried that you just literally take the first job that comes. Desperate energy creates desperate results. I literally posted that the other day and I stand by it. I said it on a podcast interview that you guys are going to hear in a couple of months. They asked me and I said, desperate energy, desperate results. When you're desperate, you miss the red flags. You're so desperate to get a job, you take any crappy money and you convince yourself that's the most you could get paid. When actually, if you took the time and you did the work, you could get more money. You could be in a better environment without the crappy boss and the crappy people that talk to you like shit, and just, you could be in a much better position. So take the time, find the role, but don't put yourself in a position where you're losing money. I interviewed recently an amazing coach. I can't wait. She's going to be on my podcast towards the end of April. She talked about the fact that growing up the way she did, like growing up in a house where there's not much money, or, where you're the first one in your family to do certain things, she was programmed to just do. And I'm not going to even get into it too much, but basically growing up, and I understood what she was talking about. Growing up, my parents are immigrants. They came to the UK. They literally taught me to just keep going. Put your head down and work. Talking about the fact that I want a job that I enjoy, my mum would look at me and be like, are you crazy? I enjoy? Are your bills not paid? Do you not have money in the bank? Are you not eating? That's what you should enjoy. Why are you worrying about whether you enjoy your job? Does it pay your bills? That's all she cares about. She's an immigrant. She didn't even get to finish high school, let alone like college or university. At least I went to college. I didn't go to university. And my mum was so upset with me because she was like, you have the opportunity. I didn't get the opportunity. My mum was always like in survival mode. We was always just trying to make it, get those bills paid, eat. My mum had 3 jobs at one point when I was growing up. Like, just seeing how hard my mum went meant that the way she taught me was always to just do. Sitting around not having a job for 2 months was not what I was taught to do. Even during that time, my mum was literally like, are you not looking for work? What are you doing? And I'm not going to lie to you guys, I lied. And I said to her, at this big age, I lied and said, yeah, I'm looking, I'm applying. The whole time knowing I wasn't applying for nothing, I was just chilling. Because for my mum, that would be a big red flag. Sitting around doing nothing when you ain't got a job. She would be like, who are you? You need to get a job. How are your bills going to be paid? How are you going to eat? How's my granddaughter going to be taken care of if you're just here chilling like you're the Queen of Sheba? That's exactly my mum's word. She would have said to me, you think you're the Queen of Sheba? You're not. Go and find a job. So when you are taught to get up and go, you don't even take the time to think, do I even enjoy what I'm doing? Do I like my job? Like, I'm just going. I'm just doing it because that's what I've been taught to do. So take a minute, sit back. While you've got a job that's paying your bills, start thinking about the next job. What do you want to do? Plan. Do the mindset work. Oh my gosh, do the mindset work. And when I say do the mindset work, I don't mean just do the positive affirmations. Do the work and then take actions, but take new action. You can't take the same actions. If you don't believe you're going to get the job, but you're applying for the job and you're going for the interview and you're not getting it, that's why, because you don't really believe you can get it. If you really think, because I don't have a degree, I can't get more money, do you think that you're going to negotiate in a new way or a different way? You have to break the cycle. You have to start to say, why should I get more money? Why do I deserve this money? Who am I and what do I bring to the table? Who is always relying on me at work? How am I making my company money? How do I make them look good? How do I make my boss look good? Really start to think about your contribution. Start there. Who am I? Why am I great? Because that will start to show up in your actions. And then take new actions that you've never tried before. When you take new actions, it helps to reset your mindset because you do something different and it does, your whole world doesn't fall apart. Your whole life doesn't go to shit. And then when you realize, I tried something different and it actually worked, or I tried something different and nothing bad happened, your brain has now got a new reference point. It now understands. Like, I tried something different. I didn't look for a job for 2 whole months. That was scary as hell to me. But guess what? I'm still here. I didn't die. The world didn't end. My bills were paid. My daughter's still good. All my fears, I proved myself wrong by taking the scary action. The scary action was actually sitting still and not doing anything. Going to Dubai and spending money that in my mind, I don't have because I'm spending this money, but I'm not making any money, bringing back the money. So how am I replacing it? But I did it anyway. And guess what? We're in April and I'm still here. I'm still alive. I'm still worried because I'm like, oh my God, I need to make some money. But my business is still ticking over. I'm still working with clients. Like, life still moves. And I didn't end up in the poorhouse. So sometimes it's about taking the action that you don't even want to take so that you can get a new result. And the last thing I want to leave you with before I end this, because this was just like it was meant to be a little quick catch up and I'm looking at the timer and we're 40 minutes in. Start backing yourself and stepping out on faith. which doesn't mean you don't still plan. Having faith doesn't just mean you just rip the Band-Aid off, quit your job and just hope for the best. No, you still have a plan. Having faith means that you believe the plan will work. So I'm going to say that again. Having faith doesn't mean you don't still have a plan. Faith just means you trust that your plan will work. And that's what I did. I trusted that going for this job would work. I trusted that I could make those 2 days a week fit in with my lifestyle. And if I need an extra day, I'll figure it out. But I trusted that I could do this job even if I don't have the experience. I trusted that my plan was going to work and I moved accordingly. I am not telling you that every single time it will be this easy. I am not telling you that there won't be setbacks and knockbacks. I've had my fair share of knockbacks and rejections from interviews. But this time round, I had a different level of confidence. I think because I've helped so many of my clients, and also I've changed career before. You guys know I left childcare and got into HR without a degree and experience then. I did it once before. If I can do it once, I can do it again. If you don't believe you can do it, it's because you're not around the right people. It's because you're not having the right conversations. If you don't believe you can do it, it's because you think you have to see it first instead of being the example and leading by example. Why can you not be the first? Why can't you be the one that goes first? Talk to more people. Get into groups where people are already changing industries and people are doing it. Go online. There's so many groups, so many people on LinkedIn talking about how they changed industry. There's so many resources to help you. Go back and listen to my episode with Hanan. And Hanan tells you she's changed industry like 4 times. And we're just regular women who try. That's it. My key word is try. We try and we have faith. Someone will give you an opportunity if you think that your skills are valuable and they can be utilized elsewhere. And if you need help, you know you can always reach out. My one-to-one coaching program, Create Your Own Lane, does exactly that. Sometimes people come to me and say they want a whole new industry and end up starting a business. Sometimes people come to me and they say, I want to do this. And then working together, they end up doing something totally different. But we get there. My clients are changing industries. They are adding 20, 30, 40K to their salaries without starting over, without losing money. Like, they're not taking steps back. They're not getting qualifications. They are just doing the work, doing the mindset work, trusting the process, having faith, and taking the steps that I show them to take and making it happen. My coaching is a blend of teaching as well as mentoring and coaching, because I love coaching people. And that just is what seems to work. So if you are stuck and you want help, reach out. I have so many free resources on my website, atenrich.com. Head over there, download the free resources. Do something differently to the way you're doing it now. Different action, different result. But don't come from a place of desperation. Stop acting like you need them to give you the job and start knowing that they need you. A company doesn't run without staff. So what is your value added skill set? What is your value added skill set? Use that. Anyway, like I said about 100 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago, we're at the end of the episode. Again, start backing yourself and stepping out on faith. Just try. If you had all the answers, you would already be where you want to be. And if you're not where you want to be, it means you don't have all the answers. So try something different. Anyway, that was my life update. That was my sharing with you how I changed industry again. So you're going to hear me more and more banging on Instagram telling you, look, you don't need qualifications. You don't need new qualifications. You don't need experience. You don't need all these extra things that you think you need. You don't need to jump through 100 hoops to make good money and change industry. If you are bored of what you are doing and you are ready for a change, let's go. Let's have a conversation. Let's make the change. Let's network your way into a job, or let's apply, send out the great CV, do the great interview and get the job you want. When my clients leave me, their level of confidence has changed for life. I get people calling me years later telling me everything they've done and how they're still making changes and still making more money. Because building your confidence is for life. You can learn a skill set for a minute, but building your confidence is forever. Believing in yourself is forever. Changing your mindset, doing the mindset work and understanding how to do it. That's how you control your human brain when it starts telling you that, oh my God, this is going to go wrong and this is going to go wrong. Anyway, guys, love you. Thanks for listening. Remember to rate the episode. Share the episode with a woman who might need to hear a little bit of encouragement. And yeah, if you share it on Instagram, tag me as always. I love to know you guys' feedback. If you have any questions, there's a Q&A box at the bottom of the show notes. You can scroll down, ask me questions. I will answer them. It's been great. See you in the next episode, or speak to you in the next episode. Bye, guys.
I hope this episode gave you exactly what you needed and motivated you to confidently take steps towards your next career move. If you enjoyed it, screenshot and share it on your socials, tag me on Instagram, and come join my community of amazing women working on leveling up their confidence and career. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.